Welcome back to Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Thanks for joining me. Sometimes the rain comes along and royally screws up your plans. And maybe the only thing to do is to cancel those plans. Maybe take a break. Maybe you don't need to be doing that thing today. But sometimes in life it seems like it rains all the time. Like every time you walk into the house, it starts to rain. It's like you're living in monsoon season. And if you stop your plans because of the rain every day, you'll end up doing nothing. And that's not good for you. And so maybe what you have to do is learn to work in the rain. You have to get an umbrella or a raincoat, or maybe you just have to not mind getting wet and push on through. Because there will be sun on the other side. This rain will stop. And yes, this is a metaphor to feel better. It's raining today, and that's all right. We'll just do something short and sweet, and we'll enjoy the rain after we're done. So let's just start in the middle of the mat or the back of the mat. I'll just face you for a second. And just sort of stand with your feet hip distance apart. And just sort of sway a little bit. Just sort of get a feeling of where you're at. You can listen to everything as you're moving back and forth. Your hands can hit the side of your body. Move your head up and down and around. Just to see what's moving, what's not moving. Sometimes when something's holding your back, like maybe your knee is locking or something like that, this sort of back and forth can sort of let you know where everything is. Keep your eyes closed, focus on your body, take in some air, and then let yourself sort of slowly come to a stop. Now we'll do our 3 inhales in through our nose and push all that air out through our mouth so we can replace that stale air. After that, we'll just do nose breathing, that ujjayi breathing. It restrains the back of your throat, like you're fogging up a mirror, but with your mouth closed. And keep breathing through your nose for the rest of this short practice. So in through your nose, big inhale all the way in, and exhale all the way out. And inhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. And inhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. I'll just go to the back of the mat here for a sec. And then inhale, put your hands all the way up to the sky, kick your hips out as much as you can. Just inhaling in and out through your nose. You get a little stretch. And then come back to that prayer position. Interlace your hands, push your hands all the way out as far as they can go. And then put your arms above your head. You should get a little sternum stretch there. And put your right hand over your head and your left hand out as far as it can and touch your right ear to your right shoulder. And make a few little circles with your left arm. Forward. And backwards. Now put your hand on your shoulder and smell your armpit. And as you pull your left arm down, you'll get a stretch in the back of your neck. Last inhale in. And put both your hands over top of your head. And just tuck your chin right to your chest. You're not pulling down on your neck, but as you're just guiding this sort of stretch, you can feel your whole neck getting stretched, even the top of your back. And then your right hand touches the top of your head, you smell your armpit, and your left arm is on your shoulder, and you sort of stretch things out. Again, you're not pulling anything, you're just touching to sort of guide the stretch in and out through your nose. And then your left ear goes to your left shoulder, your right arm goes out and makes little circles. Make the circles go the other way. And inhale, and your arms go above. Interlace your hands the opposite way they were, as high up as you can. And then your hands come behind your back, interlaced again. Get some sunshine on your chest. And one last inhale in. And then you're going to forward fold. Keep your hands behind your head. Let your arms fall forward in this sort of seal variation. You might want to bend your legs a little bit, get out any movement. Last inhale in. And slowly release your hands down to a gorilla where you're standing on your feet. This is stretching just a little bit forward. And last inhale in. And then inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale to a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to a forward fold. Then into a squat. Put your hands in between. A little bit of pressure on your knees, just by your triceps, just to push out a little bit. Keep your back as straight as you can. Your head lifting to the sky. Last inhale in, your hands go down in front of you. You reach up to a chair pose. Sit down as nice as you can. Get your back nice and straight, nothing strained, everything's sort of balanced. Your hands reaching up nice and high, maybe sink down a little bit lower in your chair. And now try to go up on your toes and hold that there. And then forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, walk forward. Do a downward dog. Maybe pedal at your feet for a little second. Get that movement out. At your ankles behind your heels. Get a nice straight line from your wrists to your hips. Then your right leg for a three-legged dog, up as high as you can, nice straight line. Bend your leg to open up everything, get a stretch along your right side. Keep your shoulders as square to the mat. Then up on your left toes. Bring your knee to your chest. And then this time we're going to put our right leg through for a wild thing and around. Now you're going to slowly drop your hips down. You're facing the back of your mat. Let's bend your legs if that's helpful to you. And just do a seated forward fold. Touch your feet. Grab the side of your feet and shift back until you get to a spot where your body is sort of telling you to slow down. And then just breathe in that spot. One last inhale in. Sit yourself up. Cross your legs over. Hands go down. Downward dog on the other side. Find that good stretch. And then your left leg to the sky this time. Nice and straight. Bend it round and keep your shoulders square to the mat. And up on your right foot, your left knee to your chest. And then you put your left foot through and do a wild thing on the other side. So you're on the knife edges of both your feet. And last breath in. And relax your hips down. Come forward and we'll do a butterfly on this side. Keep your back nice and straight. The flats of your feet touching. The further out you go, the less of the stretch, but the further you can down you can go. I'm going to take somewhere in the middle. If you want to put blocks underneath, you can put blocks underneath your hips like that just to give a little extra support. And I find then you can let your legs fall open even more because it's not carrying all that tension. Nice and straight into the air. Last breath in. You can take those blocks away if you want. And let's just put your feet forward even more. And let's bend it all the way down. See if you can, still holding onto your feet, and find some space. Hinge at your hips and let yourself fall down that way. Last breath in. Lift yourself up. Cross your feet over. Let's go to a plank. Your hips the same height as your shoulders. Tuck your tailbone. Some good tension on the front of your body. And then let's go down into what's called dolphin pose. So it's sort of like down onto your elbows. Almost like a downward dog, but resting on your elbows instead. And last breath in and come up to a plank on your elbows this time. Last breath in. Put your feet together and your right arm to the sky. Last breath in, back to that plank. Your left arm to the sky. Last breath in, and back to that plank on your forearms. And then lower your feet down and your hips down. And my favorite, the Sphinx. Keep your butt flexed. Push up if you'd like to seal here with your arms straight and your shoulders away from your ears. And last breath in. And then exhale down to this half frog. Your left arm on 45. Your right quad up. And you're just pulling yourself to your heel to your butt and pushing up out of your shoulder. So you get a twisty sort of flexion. Last breath in. And slowly release your foot. Your right arm goes 45. And you do the other side. Push up out of your shoulder. And slowly release your left foot. And you come into a Sphinx pose. While you're here with your elbows underneath your shoulders, flex your butt so that you don't put strain on your back. And if you want to do a little more stretch, you can push your arms out, keep your shoulders away from your ears, relax into that. Keep your butt flexed. If you want to make a little bit more room, you can put your legs further apart. And last inhale in. And just release down. Shake out your hips a little bit here. Back and forth, just so you don't want to lock up anything. And put your hands beside your shoulders. And put your toes close together and your knees apart. And back to a child's pose. Put your hips right on your heels. Stretch your hands out. And untuck your toes. Back up to downward dog for just a moment. Just to stretch everything out. And then hop or walk slowly or quick up to the top of the mat. And down to a squat. Like a number of these poses, I find that the squat is sort of a reset because in order to do the squat, you have to be balanced. You have to be in side to side. So it sort of forces you that way. You can roll out your wrists. That works too. And we're just going to roll back onto our butt and into boat pose. So boat pose, you can have your legs completely straight out, or I have them parallel, my shins parallel to the ground, my arms reaching out, my shoulders down from my ears, nice and straight in my back. If my back starts to hurt, I'd put my heels down. Keep your toes nice and flexed. Everything is engaged. A little bit longer on this. Big inhale in and lower to lower boat with your shoulders off the ground, with your heels off the ground, your hands reaching forward. You could drop your shoulders or your hands depending on if you wanted to, if you felt too much strain. One more breath in. Put hit your shoulders down and go up to a supine staff pose. So nice and 90 degree if you can. Your legs nice and straight in the air. Your feet still engaged. Nothing stressed in your face or your back. Inhale, and your knees go to your chest. Your right leg goes over top of your left with that figure four. Reach through, grab your shin, lean to the left a little bit, and then pull your shin, or you can grab your foot, you can grab your thigh, whatever is accessible to you, and you just gently pull your knee to your chest. You feel a good stretch in your right hip. Last breath in. Keep your legs in that figure four. Your right foot goes flat on the ground. Your right arm goes out the other way. And with your left hand, you just gently push away your knee. That gives an extra little stretch on your hip flexor. Nothing hurts. I'm literally putting hardly any pressure at all, just enough so that I can feel and engage. And last inhale in. And then exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Squeeze into your chest. And then left leg over the right leg. Keep your feet nice and engaged. Reach through and grab your right shin if you can, or your thigh, or whatever feels good. Roll to your right a little tiny bit. And then just pull your knee to your chest. For me, it doesn't go anywhere near my chest. But I can feel the stretch in my left outside hip. Inhale in, and exhale, just roll to the side. On your right side this time, your left arm goes out, your right hand just pushes your left knee away, your left foot is flat on the floor. This side might be easier or harder. None of it is straining. And as you surrender to it a little bit, you can feel things sort of open up. Another good inhale in. Exhale, bring your knees to your chest, nice and tight, just to straighten everything up again. And whilst we're here, we're going to grab onto our feet, or our shins, or our thighs, and go into this happy baby. You can rock side to side a little bit, massage your spine. You can do a supine butterfly. Put your feet together if you'd like. You can put both of your feet straightened. You can do one foot straightened, the other foot straightened, any combination of all of them, or just sit here as still as you can and let your hips open up. And one last inhale in. Your feet come together. They go down on the ground. You touch your heels. And we're going to go up to bridge. So dig in with your heels. Engage your butt as much as you can. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath your back. Just push up nice and hard. You'll feel that stretch in your hip flexors. Lots of space between your chin and your chest. Nothing's tensed up other than where you're engaging. So you're not tensing your face or moving your head at all. It's nice and relaxed up there. Then inhale on your toes as high as you can. Your hands above your head and slowly down. One vertebrae at a time. Get a little pop every once in a while. Once your hips are down, pulling your knees to your chest for one final time. Good squeeze. And out your hips, out your feet, go to the corners of your space. Tuck your tailbone. Your palms face the sky. You can lie here and let your breathing go to however you want it to go to. And I'd recommend just staying here for a little bit. Just think for a little bit. Or don't think. And then at the end of a few minutes, whenever you think is right, you can slowly get yourself up and sit cross-legged and just take a moment, just sitting sort of in stillness here. You can appreciate the rain. The only way that you can appreciate the sunshine is to appreciate the rain. And that's true. Hope you feel better, and we'll see you in the next video. Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.